The Mother Road. It's over 4,000 kilometres long and crosses 2/3 of the USA. It's been called the Mother Road and the Main Street of America. It's been in films, books and songs, and there's even a piece on display at the Smithsonian Museum in Washington. Welcome to Route 66. Route 66 starts in the hustle and bustle of Chicago. Outside the city, it cuts through cornfields and the open plains of the West, into gold mining towns and ghost towns, over deserts and through valleys, winding around lakes and mountains, until it arrives in Los Angeles on the Pacific Ocean. Midwest America is connected with the West Coast, and the past is connected with the present. Let's go back to the 1920s to see how it all began. 1920s. In the early 1920s, life in Midwest America was very different. People didn't used to travel much because there were no highways near the small towns. A trip to LA would usually take weeks. But in 1926, things started to change, thanks to a new road called Route 66. This new road opened up the American West to hundreds of thousands of people. Agricultural communities that used to be isolated started to grow and develop into towns. Farmers were also able to sell their produce to big cities. 1930s. In the mid-1930s, hard times returned. America was suffering from the Great Depression, and across the country, millions of people were out of work. In the Midwest, severe drought conditions and dust storms destroyed farmland, and thousands of families were forced to leave their homes. They headed for California along Route 66, where they had heard there were agricultural jobs. Unfortunately, the Mother Road led them to shanty towns outside towns and cities, where they lived in terrible poverty. Route 66 became associated with the pain and misery of this great migration. 1940s to 1950s. When the Great Depression came to an end after World War II, there was a new age of optimism, and thousands moved from east to west looking for a better life. People had more free time, and many owned cars. Families wouldn't stay at home during holidays. Instead, they would drive along Route 66 to the beaches of California, visiting the Grand Canyon and other attractions along the way. It was boom time for the road, and hundreds of diners, motels and service stations lined the route. Billboards and huge statues tempted tourists to stop at man-made and natural attractions, such as the giant blue whale in Oklahoma or the Merrimack Caverns in Missouri. Then jazz musician Bobby Troup wrote the hit song Route 66. The Mother Road had a brand new image, one of freedom and fun. 1956 to present day. As more people travelled from east to west, a newer, bigger road was needed, and work began on a national interstate highway. Sadly, the towns and attractions along Route 66 began to die out. Then, in the 1990s, people started campaigns to preserve the old road. New signs were put up, and tourists began to travel down it once again. Today, the Mother Road still offers an amazing journey through the American West. Whether you want the freedom of the open road, a trip into the past, or simply a greasy burger from an all-American diner, you can still get your kicks on Route 66.